The other day, my wife and I, we just came out of the store and went to my car, the MDX, not the Vet, and turned on the key and it went, it would not start. I couldn't believe it. Well, we couldn't get anybody to help with jumper cables or anything in the parking lot, so we ended up having to call. Of course, my insurance covered it, but they came out and jumped it. It was a hassle. I mean, it was just one of those gut-wrenching things like, this is one of my responsibilities. So I decided at that moment I'm going to get a battery, a starter that we can use in place of when this ever happens again, that we can start it. So after searching for a while, I decided that's what I'm going to get. I'm going to get a battery backup. And like this is the one right here that I got, obviously. It's the GT3000 from Gooloo. And I tell you what, the reviews were outstanding on it. Regular people like me, as well as the product farm, which had made reviews on a whole bunch of these. Now, I cheated. I've already opened this up. I'm just doing this, to be a little bit more realistic. But I've already opened this up. And this is it. It's 3,000 megaamps. It can start a 10-liter gas, or it can start a 8-liter diesel. One of the things I like about it is it actually had a screen. It just didn't have this four little lights that light up that tell you if you got 3 of them, they're 75%, you got 2, they're 50%. Not the same. This particular one, when you turn it on, or whatever you use with it, it shows you 100%, 60%, whatever it is, that's what you see. And that was one of the big features that I liked a lot. Now, it did come, of course, with the manual, but it also came with a pretty much of a, well, it's a case, a little bag. I'm not too sure that I ever was going to use that from the get-go, and obviously I didn't. I'll explain that in a minute. Now, it comes with, this is the unique thing. This is a 100-watt charger. Now, I started charging this because the unique thing, you can charge this right off your cell phone charger, although it takes a great deal of time. Or you can go to your car and plug this into your cigarette lighter, and this will put over 100 watts of charge into this, and it made it from 70, that it was 78, I think, to 100% in, I don't know, no time, as they say. It was barely, just very, very few minutes it would do that. The other thing, of course, it's got in here is it's got the jumper cables, which seem to be real solid, They work well. They're short, they're short cords. And there's a reason why they're short, because this is putting out some amp that goes into your car, and the longer the cord, the more heat it creates, and the bigger and thicker cord they got to have, and that's why it is. And this doesn't have one of those where it plugs a whole plug in and you have lights on it and so forth, because it's all in here, which we'll take a look at. Now, it also comes with 2 other wires here, USB-C, which is good. All of it's USB-C and USB-A to plug into it. And they plug in a C to C. So you got these cords here that come with it. And if you look here, and if this will show up in the camera, this first plug here obviously is where the jumper cords go. This is a plug-in that will plug in to a 10 amp. So you could run a vacuum cleaner, you could run a little refrigerator, because it's 100 watts it puts out. So it will run a light. It will run quite a few things that's 100 watts, which is about, you can get about 3.5, almost 4 amps to be used in that for, I think, 3 hours. So anyway, it gives you some time there. Then it's got a regular USB outlet where it's a 2.4, which will, generally would just about charge anything you got. And then it's got one that goes all the way up like a fast charge. That's the blue one. Fast charge works out good. And then, of course, this is where you plug it in for charging it. Also, it goes both ways. You can output and you can input, and it's that's where you bring that up to 100 watts right there. And when that's happening, and I'll show you, when that is happening, when you're charging this, you get to see the charge that's going into the unit and going out of this unit to your product. So you get some really, I really like the control you have of seeing what's happening all the time on this with just a button that you can tell. Now, you notice on here, there's a button here that turns it on. There's a button that says boost. And we'll look at that when we get out and look at the car. But the biggest thing that boost does, when you attach this to your car, this will immediately turn on. and it will wait and it will say ready when it gets to the end there to tell you that, hey, it's all set, no problem, get in your car and start it up. And if your battery is so low that it won't even recognize a charge or any voltage from your battery at all, then this won't turn on. But you want it to turn on, of course, to charge your battery. So that's when you hit the boost. You hit the boost, that puts a current into this, because these are so safety cautious that when you plug it in, there is no juice until you touch it to your car, or you put the boost on, and then it fires it up. So it's being really careful. So the reason I say that is you can have anybody. You got a son that you want to learn about to do this, and he's not real experienced with this. He can get out there, and you don't have to worry about him blowing up the car, blowing up the battery, or hurting this. So it's real protective that way for sure, without a doubt. And I like that about it. For sure, because if you're going to have this in the car and you may have a problem, you're going to want to have anybody who drives that car know exactly how to use this. And it is simple. Here's the other cool thing. On the back of this, it has the steps that you actually do, as I just mentioned, to get it fired up. And if you get a code, it will show you right here what that code means and what has to happen. You know what I mean? If you crossed them, got the black to red and the red to black on the car, it will stop you and tell you right away. It will beep and show you on the screen there that you have a problem. And then you go back here and you can see what the problem is that you crossed it. It is like 4 different things. There's not too many things that can happen to this, especially if you just plug it in right. It's a home run every time. And the power is incredible. I mean, we're not going to go through all the things that, but if you watch some of the videos on this, you will see the diesels that it starts. I mean, absolutely incredible that this little baby will happen. Now, one of the other things that you see here, this is the box that came in. And I got to tell you, this box is pretty awesome. It's solid. The inside is solid and even foamed. It has this insert. So if you don't want to get a case for it, I think it could live a long time in this box without a hassle because it's solid. You know, you're not getting it in and out every day, so it's not a big problem in that regards, you know. But I decided to get the case just because that's how I like it. And the unique thing about the case is it has a spot for everything, and that's kind of a neat way too. First off, it has a spot for the actual unit, and that we put right here, and it fits in there really quite snug, almost too snug. And this little cover separates it so you can put in the screening here, or the webbing here, this everything you want to put there and more. And this comes together, and then you have it ready to go. So it's not bad. This is a pretty good case. It's solid. You know, this, I was surprised at how solid this little box is. So if one wanted to not get this case, because they have it on the web for $50 from Gooloo, but it's like $23.99, $25 from Amazon. So that's our first part of this, for sure. The second part, we'll go out to the car, and I'll show you a little bit how easy it is to hook up. Now, wait a minute, guys. Everybody that's watching this, that's on my channel, sure know how to hook up a battery, charger, or a jumper like this to their battery. I don't think I need to tell you to make black and red, but I will show you a little bit about what it does when we do hook it up. Before we get started in here, I want to show you a couple things that I didn't show you and didn't emphasize enough, perhaps, that I really like about this that you would certainly want to know. They all have this, so it's not earth-shaking here. Any of these kind of in this quality you get will have these things, but it has, of course, a flashlight, a bright 400, I think it is, LED light. Now the cool thing about that is you know, we should have a car light in the car at all times anyway, and when we do, you definitely want it when you go outside to connect this if it's dark, or anytime you're looking underneath something you're dragging. It's good to have a light that can go on for a long time. Don't have to worry about the battery cutting out on this. The other thing it does have, if you click it once, you get an SOS. This is kind of neat, you know, if you're stranded, or you can just have it flash like that, and there we go. Okay, let me plug this in, and we'll go over and we'll take a look and kind of pretend. Now this one here, if you're looking at them, you're going to see a lot of them will have a big box here, and the box there will have buttons on it to either tell you the green light that it's good to go, and they have the booster button on there. It's a different unit that doesn't snap on. It's just part of the end, and then that plugs in. The difference here is you're going to see it doesn't need that because it's all built in, which actually was another thing I really liked about it. And you can't hook these in wrong, which is great. You put them in, and they will lock on there, and in you go. Now, the other good thing is these are not hot. They're not hot yet. They won't be hot until we hook it up to the battery, and it will automatically turn on because it's connected to the battery. And then I'll show you. Okay, let's take a look. We'll go over there and take a look. Okay, now I'm set up. I just set it up a little bit. I got right here, I got the ground set up. And now you see there's nothing on the screen. There's no power in here yet. When I go to put this on the positive end, it immediately comes up 99% and shows that it's ready. Now all I have to do is get in the car, start it up. Now, of course, my battery's not dead. But if it was dead or real low, that's all I'd have to do. Out I'd go and I'm done. If for some reason your battery was so low and you had absolutely no power to it at all, no volts. I mean, dead battery even has some voltage in it. But if it's so low it doesn't detect it, that's when you'd hit the boost. And then that turns it on solid and makes sure that your car can start. So you could do it without a battery in it. You could start this car without a battery in it by connecting to the two cables that come down. Incredible. Really works great. This Gooloo Jump Start power pack is definitely going from my tow vehicle to my boat every time I go fishing. So make it part of your fishing arsenal as well. So don't leave the dock without it, and you'll be safer on the water. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.